Let me share with you something very special. You'll only see at the Vaudeville Theater in the little town of Glenwood Springs and nowhere else. It is directly above my head. That girl up there, it looks like maybe just a regular organ or player piano or something. No, that is a 1918 Wurlitzer Photoplayer. And unless you've been to the Vaudeville Theater, you have no idea what a photo player is, right? Well, let me give you a little bit of history and share with you some information. Over 100 years ago, when the very first movies, the very first motion pictures first came into existence, they had a very specific name. Now, back in those days, everybody was entertained by going to see a play, a comedy play, a Shakespeare play, a dramatic play in the theater. Well, now they're going to the theater to see a different kind of play. It's a play that's moving, it's going by on photographs. So we're going to call that a photo play motion picture. And that's what they called the very first movies. You don't hear that term anymore, but the very first movies were called a photo play. That is correct. But back in those days, of course, they had no way of recording any sound onto those silent movies. We know as the silent movies, the old black and whites. There was no sound effects, there were no soundtracks, there was no talking. Call them the non-talkies, the silent movies. And what they did is they decided, well, why don't we add a very specialized instrument? Back in those days, there were piano players and all these neat automatic instruments all over the place, calliopes, orchestrions. They thought, well, why don't we put an instrument directly in front of the movie screen? And we'll have different people put different piano rolls in that instrument, and it will provide all the soundtrack, all the music, all the exciting music during the exciting times in that photo play motion picture, and all the sad music during the sad times. And it became the soundtrack of those movies, adding so much more life and energy to that photo play motion picture. As the years went by, they realized, well, hey, why don't we add like a sound effect, like a car horn, or a bell, or a whistle, or a train, or all these different sound effects. And this instrument became very specialized, using all the sound effects, playing all these different sounds, and providing all of that for those photo play motion pictures, and they called it a photo player. And back in those days, there were thousands of these instruments, folks. 7 different organizations were building photo players for all the different movie theaters around the entire world, and it was a big deal. If you didn't have a photo player providing all the sound and all the sound effects, then it just wasn't worth going to see the photo play. And there were thousands of them. So now to this day, everything changed because in the early 30s, they finally figured out, of course, how to record everything onto the film, just like the movies of today. All the sound effects, all the talking, everything is right there on the film. It's timed out perfectly. It's the original sounds. We don't need photo players anymore. They're made out of wood and plastic and rubber, and they're falling up. Let's just get rid of them all, and they disappeared. There are probably fewer than 4 or 5 true photo players left in the entire world, and I have one of the last ones, I think the only one that's in a public place to be performed for an audience like you. So I'm going to go make some noise on that girl and show you why she's so cool. Oh, you guys are awesome. Oh, I love this crowd, and I love these young ladies out there because they get to experience this. And I don't care how cool you are. This girl is old, she's cranky, she's always breaking down. I'm always working on her and fixing her and spending money on her. But, you know, enough about my ex-wife. This girl is really... Oh, you got that, good. Except for you, ex-wife. See, that was, never mind. Okay, so this girl can do all kinds of amazing stuff. She's all driven on air. All the automatic instruments back in those days, everything was driven on air. You force tons of air into it, you control that air, that becomes the engine behind everything that needs to work. So I'm gonna turn this girl on, and you're gonna hear all that air, all that energy that goes into her, just like 105 years ago, when she was originally built for the Liberty Theater in Yakima, Washington. Anybody? Yakima, Washington? Sometimes we have Washingtonians out there. Yeah, I mean, she used to play for some of the original Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton movies. Think about that, folks. Some of the originals when they came out. I mean, he remembers. He was there at that time. So she really was pretty amazing. So I'm going to go through all this. Well, let's turn her on. You're going to hear all that sound, all that energy, all that air being controlled, manipulated, just like 105 years ago when playing for all the wonderful movies, the Charlie Chaplin, Buster Keaton. So let's go through all the sound effects they might have used back in those days. This is the heart and soul of these wonderful things. Let's say Charlie Chaplin is walking across the street in the movie, and a policeman is trying to get his attention by blowing on a police whistle. Somebody's job would be to push the police whistle button at just the right time, like this. You get the idea. Let's say there's a fire in the background of the movie that you're watching. You got to have an old-fashioned fire bell. Hold on. We also got boats out in the harbor. We got 105-year-old horses in there. The same ones are still in the horses. Lots of carriages, trailers back then. What else we got? Oh, this is great. We got a tambourine. Making lots of... I added this for fun. This is going to get a nice little car horn right there. We also got a train whistle. What else we got over here? We've got, oh yeah, it's my favorite. It's called a booty call. A birdie call, not a booty. Booty call. A bird, come on, girls, that was funny, a booty call. Now they're laughing, okay. Hold on, I added this just for fun. Normally we have a bunch of little whippersnappers right down here. I get to have one. Our youngest ones are over here. But this is... Hold on, we're just getting started. I also got a wood block and that one there and a school bell and a triangle and a cymbal and a gong. Are you kidding? A bass drum, a snare drum, the roll snare, the old siren? You gotta be kidding. I saved the very best for last, the old klaxon, the old Model A and Model T horn. You know what it sounds like. This one right here. Who's not smiling? Yeah, now we got him. That is so obnoxious. It matches our show perfect. That's gonna be stupid. All right, let's put it all together and let's play a classic Christmas song. If you feel like singing along, I'd love to have you. Folks, it sounds a little like this. Here we go. Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. Bob, I'm not doing a damn thing. I can't play the piano. I can push all the buttons, though. Trust me. Ask my girlfriend, she knows. Just hear those sleigh bells jingling, ring, ting, tingling, too. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. Outside the snow is falling and friends are calling you. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. Giddy up, let's go. Let's look at the show. We're riding in a wonderland of snow. Giddy up, it's grand. Just holding your hand. We're gliding along with the song of wintry fairyland. Our cheeks are nice, rosy and comfy, cozy are we. We're snuggled up together like the birds of a feather would be. There's a birthday party at the home of Farmer Gray. It'll be the perfect ending of a perfect day. It'll be in a song we love to sing without a single stop. At the fireplace while they watch the chestnuts pop. There's a happy feeling nothing in the world can buy. When they pass around the coffee and the pumpkin pie. It'll nearly be like a picture print, like a rear and eyes. These wonderful things are the things we remember all through our lives. Big ending. Here we go. Tear it up, everybody. All together. Our cheeks are nice and rosy and comfy cozy are we. Come on, it's something weather boys there's all together with me. Let's take that road before us and sing a chorus or two. Come on, it's lovely weather for us, they ride together with you. Now we'll wake everybody up. Merry Christmas all! Ho! Now you know what a 1918 Wurlitzer Photoplayer, and if you're not smiling, you should leave, because that's fun right there. It sure is. Actually, you can go now, because that's the end of our show. Thanks for coming tonight. I hope you had a good time. We're out of here.